Remember that guy, Phil Brown, that recorded music with Steve and he wanted to release the music? He still wants to release that music. And we'll talk all about it coming right up.
3, 2, 1.
Hello, everybody. It's me, Gary Stuckey. Welcome back to another episode of Steve Perry News. You like my setting, my background? I'm relaxing here in the bedroom. It's been a long day. But anyway, about Steve Perry News. Let's talk about it. Over on the blast.com today, there was an article, and the infamous Phil Brown, not to be confused with the groundhog, Puxatawny, but like I was talking about in the last video. But but anyway, Phil Brown, the guy that wanted to release music of he and Steve. They were recording back in the early '90s. Phil had written some songs with Steve and played bass on the some songs and for the Love of Strange Medicine album, and they wrote some songs together for that. But anyway, they were friends, and Steve, according to court documents, had let Phil have $1,500 and recorded a demo. And like I said, from these court proceedings that I've been following, and you know, it seems that Phil still wants to release that music, and he's saying that Steve is bullying him, with these high-paid lawyers, and it's not fair, I guess, because Steve is Steve, and he knows all these people, and he has the money to stop this music from being released, which he has the right to do. Phil is saying he doesn't have the right. That Phil's saying that he has the right to release the music that he and Steve recorded, but that's not the case. And here's the thing: uh, this past summer, Phil's manager uh, contacted me and wanted me to hear some songs. She said that Phil and Steve had some new music, like they had just recorded it this past summer. So she was going around telling people that it was brand new music. And she said that Phil and Steve were in the studio as we speak. So I heard that for a while for this summer. And they were, going to release an album together, made it sound like they were in a band, made it sound like they had an album and songs together, and it was brand new music. But all the while, it was old songs from, early 1990s that Phil has been trying to release. But according to court documents, even back in 2003, I think, uh, Phil tried to release them, and then Steve's lawyers were like, no, and they had all these documents saying, you can't do it because Steve has the rights, he's under contract, and all this, and it's all there in black and white in the documents and the court cases. You can read it for yourself. And so Phil let it go. Like I said, that was like 16 years ago. So suddenly, Steve Perry is coming out with new music this past year. And what happens? Suddenly, Phil decides it's time to start the rumor that he and Steve recorded new music. But that wasn't the case. So he was going to kind of ride that coattail, right? And try to cash in on Steve's music, right? That's my, that's the way I see it. Uh, and so, tell me what you think now. And Phil is trying to say that he has the right. But like I said, my understanding is, if Steve Perry wants you to record with him and you do, and then he says he doesn't want to release it, you know, you got your dream. To me, I mean, if I record with Steve Perry and he says, Gary, I don't want to release that, I'm not going to release it because I got the joy of recording with a guy, you know, and I'm not going to go against his wishes. So I think that's what Phil should do. If not, it sounds like he's trying to cash in because it's Steve Perry. Because it was Joe Schmo, he could care less about releasing his music. You know, it doesn't matter that it's his music. The bottom line is he wants to cash in on Steve Perry, and that's obvious as to what happened this past summer because he waited until Steve released an album to start cashing in. So, you know, it's totally wrong, I think, in my opinion, to try to release music that Steve doesn't want to release. So I think he should just drop it. And I think he should just let it go. Stop this court proceedings from keep going, dragging out for this whole summer like it's going to. If he doesn't, Steve has a right not to release the music. It's cool to hear new music, but if it's against Steve's wishes, I don't want to hear it. And that's just the way it is. Tell me what you think about that, right? You know. But anyway, we'll find out more of these proceedings as time goes along. But this is Gary Stuckey. I'll be back later with more Steve Perry news. Hey, don't stop believing, everybody. God bless you.